You are now listening to Mondays with Mike Martinez.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Mondays with Mike. I'm here with my buddy, Rob Rozco. Great guy. Rob, talk to them about a little bit about your background and what you do. How do you make money, my friend?
Yeah, man. So my name is Rob Rozco, como dijiste, and I'm a Marine Corps vet, entrepreneur, flipper, construction guy. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the game for about 20 years now. And we're doing the flip game and the construction side of it. So we're all over the place.
Bro, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Baldwin Park. I was made in Mexico. Born in Mexico, made in California, bro.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. So you actually went to the same high school for a while that I went to.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right?
sir.
But you're a few years ahead of me.
A couple.
Couple years.
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah, man.
So how was your upbringing in Baldwin Park? And guys, that's where I was raised, originally from East LA. I moved to Baldwin Park at like 11, 12 years old. So basically all of my teenage years, I spent them growing up in Baldwin Park, where Rob grew up. How was life in Baldwin Park for you, bro?
Yeah, man. Same. We have similar ties. You know what I'm saying? I also grew up in East LA when I was a kid, on 4th and 1st, over there by the Quintaco. And we ended up moving to Baldwin Park when I was young. And, my parents were hard workers. You know what I'm saying? My dad's a union carpenter, retired. My mom's a stay-at-home mom. You know what I'm saying? She raised us all at the house. And man, we don't come from money or anything like that either. So it's not like, live in Baldwin Park, you know that, bro. I'm saying, people with money don't live in Baldwin Park.
We're not too bad, though. Yeah. I wasn't too bad in Baldwin Park.
I mean, if you're Asian, you're doing pretty good over there, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
no, I mean, we weren't, I don't want to say that we were dirt poor because we weren't dirt poor. When I was in East LA, that was fucking dirt poor. But once we made it to Baldwin Park, things got a little better for us. So, I mean, I guess Baldwin Park is like a lower middle class, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lower middle class.
Absolutely. And, now it's like gentrifying, bro. There's a lot of Asians in there, you know what I'm saying? It's changing. Yeah, now it's changing. It wasn't
back in those days.
I still have property there, you know what I'm saying? So I go by there all the time, and you can see a lot of like development for, a lot of stuff that's going on, and a lot of Asian influence in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's changing.
Bring some Chinese money to the
There you go.
City.
Yeah, bring some money in there. Yeah, absolutely.
So life wasn't bad as a kid?
No, I can't say it was, bro, because, I was in sports, also, and my thing was basketball. I played basketball all my youth days. Saying you get into some trouble when you get into high school with the wrong people. And like me and you talked about earlier, you know what I'm saying, we do certain things that we're not proud of.
I think that's what happens. Like being raised in Baldwin Park, you're lower middle class.
Yeah.
You don't have money, but there's a lot of gang influence in those cities. Like I grew up between Baldwin Park and Almani, and like it's the influence. It's the influence, and then being a kid, not having extra money, you want to make extra money, and you think that that's a way, and you just start making mistakes.
That's the hustle, yeah.
It's probably the same thing with you, right?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm saying we're like I said, we're from the same area, the same concept of what's going on around us, and that's one of the main things that we moved out here for, because my wife's all like, hey, well, she's from out here, so when I say out here is an empire, and I was never planning on moving out of Baldwin Park. You know what I'm saying. But she's like, hey,
the whole fucking time.
I never had a problem with Baldwin Park. I'm just like, I'm used to that. Like when you're comfortable with your surroundings and you don't know no better, it's like, hey, this is what it is, But
I have too many bad memories there. Like even when I go visit my mom's still there. When I go to my mom's house, which is rare, she comes to me more than I go to her.
Yeah.
But when I go to Baldwin Park, I get goosebumps. Like,
oh really?
Dude, I smoked a lot of fucking meth, bro. I did a lot of bad things. I get like bad memory syndrome. I'm like, dude, I got to get out of here.
I got bad memories and good memories. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like, hey, it is what it is. It's not really, what happened there, but it's where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, of course. You don't look back. We don't look back.
Yeah.
So, dude, let's talk about the Marine Corps real quick.
Yes, sir.
What made you go to the Marines?
Well, again, the buddies, you know what I'm saying? The buddy system. So we had a recruiter there, Staff Sergeant Nunez, shout out to the Marine Corps Staff Sergeant over there, and he pretty much recruited us, all of us, which was like a group of 5 guys, and convinced us to, hey, you guys could do the buddy system, and there's jacuzzis in there, and you guys can play ball in there and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? He painted it really nice. And
was it really nice?
It was not fucking nice, bro. It was not.
Would you do your 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I did my 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I got out a little sooner. I had some issues in there, but we got out. We did our time. We did our schooling.
We did our time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did our time. We did our schooling.
We did our time, bro.
So, I mean, it was cool, man. It was a good experience. As a matter of fact, that's how, like young people, when I run into them, they're like, hey, well, how was this and how was that? I think everybody should have a shot or a chance to go to the service because it builds discipline, character. It shows them a lot of learning curves of how to be independent. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really good, and it should be a good thing for everybody to go and try that out.
Shows you how to knock motherfuckers out too.
Absolutely, bro. It's a little piece of mind. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
So how'd you get into construction, bro? I know that's kind of one of your main businesses.
Yeah. So when I got out of the service, I had a couple buddies that invited me to go do some schooling for electrical classes, and they pretty much offered me a job, but I had to take some courses, so I did that. We did the classes. We did the schooling and ended up going to the jobs and started working, electrical first, contracting and doing all that came a little bit later, but that's where I started off on, and I took off in it because I already had a background from my parents. Well, my dad being in the construction field, right?
Oh, okay.
When I was younger, I would always go to work with them and operate machinery, the equipment. He did more like lateral sewers and, city work, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're always in the construction business part of it. So I always saw and I always seen that there's money to be made there,
Yeah. Man, you have no idea. I wish I can go back in time and I wish I probably would have got a GC license, electrical, plumbing, HVAC.
You're still young, bro.
No, but I mean, I'm already building a $30 million collection agency.
You need more money. You're good.
Yeah. Well, no, I do need more money.
More money.
I need to be a billionaire. But
there you go. Okay.
Maybe later on, once I saw my agencies and that's kind of the plan for me in the next few years. I want to exit. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to get hit with a non-compete agreement for at least 5 years, so I won't be able to get back in the industry. So maybe then I'll go pivot and do something else. But
there you go.
I got buddies I got a buddy that does HVAC. My buddy Alonzo, he's a GC, commercial maintenance. There's a lot of opportunity, bro. I know companies that are doing 20 million, 50 million exits, $100 million exits all day long, bro. So it's great.
Absolutely.
So you were working for a company for how many years before you went off and started doing your own thing?
Yeah, so I was doing about maybe 6-7 years before I went off and did my own thing. I just moved up the ranks and
just learned,
bro. I mean, I was absorbing everything and just trying to get ahead and seeing who was the big players and where was the money at. And when you have that entrepreneur spirit, you're always looking for opportunities. So you got to educate yourself enough to understand that when opportunity presents itself, you got to be knowledgeable enough to execute on it. So I'm always trying to learn. I'm always doing courses. I'm always doing coaching. I'm always doing seminars, all that good stuff. Just to get that learning curve on whatever's coming up, whatever's evolving, because that's what it's about, right? In any business, and life in general, right? Everything evolves. So
what ended up happening? Why did you venture off, and how was it? When did you decide to start your business, and what did that look like?
Yeah, man. So basically, what caused that to happen is, sometimes you get slow in the construction business, and you're trying to make moves and pivot, and you just start realizing, hey, you start getting these jobs on your own and seeing that there's more money to be made as an independent contractor. Mm-hmm. Where you're not just getting a cut of it, right? So once you get a taste for that, it's it just becomes the next thing on your to-do list, right? Just go off on your own and try to venture the waters and take things into your own hands, bro. I mean, sometimes you gotta just jump into it.
So what did you do? How did you start getting jobs, or what did it look like to transition? How difficult was that? Or was there anything easy about it? How did you just start finding jobs to do? I'm always curious with that. How does somebody go from being an employee to being an entrepreneur overnight? I went through it in my industry, but what about your industry?
Yeah. So, it's always networking, right? It comes into, that's the name of the game in any business we do. The networking where people are going to pull you up or pull you down. So when you have friends that are doing businesses and running other kind of businesses that are similar to what you're in construction with, they always say, hey, you know what, we need some, we need this kitchen done over here, or we need some electrical work over here, or a panel, or I have this opportunity to go work with these other guys or whatever. And then you start branching up slowly, right? I mean, you got to have a feel for it too, because there's people who do, there's Indians and chiefs, right? For every business we're in. And some people just don't want to be responsible. They don't want to take on the headaches. And like I said before, I welcome all the problems. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. And it's just a matter of you being able to handle the pressure and, somewhat organized to be able to control and manage what's going on around you with the businesses, as far as getting jobs, leads, networking with other investors, other contractors, other people who are in the business. You know what I'm saying, that can shoot you work and keep you busy.
So you started off small, getting side jobs.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then did you eventually scale that to something that generates a significant amount of money that you can call actual business?
Absolutely.
No
bro.
longer side jobs, but an actual business.
Yeah, where we're running like 30 people. You know what I'm saying? We got 30 people sometimes. We got, I have a crew with me of 5 guys that are always with me. And it's just like I told you earlier, it just depends on what the job calls for, whether it's a commercial job where we're doing a big Ross store or a Home Depot or a Walmart, what have you, that we got to bring in different crews. I'll manage that. If not, we're doing some small remodels or flips for what we do now, right? The residential side of it's the easiest part, right? But yeah.
Is there anything easy about it, starting your business on your own?
No, not real. No, I mean, the only easy thing is when you know something, right? When you know what you're doing and you've been doing it for a while, that's easy, right?
The technical work?
The technical work, yeah. Like I'm saying, getting in there and doing the jobs, right? But as far as like we're in the back end and running the operations and doing the behind the scenes stuff, that's where it gets a little bit more intense and more, maybe not intense, but a little bit more detailed as far as, how you manage everything and track everything, because you're burned out from the day-to-day job. You got to go home and, hit the books. And
you got 2 jobs.
Exactly.
You got to do the technical work now and the strategic and administrative work.
Exactly. Go home and hit the books.
So what was the most challenging thing?
For what? So
starting your business.
The most challenging thing is I think it's navigating the waters of how to run a business. How to stay, legit, and, how to do your taxes and, keep track of everything, inventory, managing the people. I mean, the hardest thing of any jobs that we do, I believe it's management of people, because they're so unpredictable. And I mean, at this point, I can't even control my son sometimes, So let alone some other grown-ass man, right?
So what I'm hearing is leadership, culture, administration, operations, and finance. Learning those things were the most challenging.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just so you know, bro, from my experience interviewing a lot of entrepreneurs and from my own experience, people's one of the biggest problems in any business.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest problems. So what other challenges, like what is the biggest challenge that you faced throughout the time that you started your business, and even right now? Like, what are some of the biggest challenges? What is the biggest challenge that you're dealing with? So the biggest challenge, I think, not the biggest challenge, but some of the hurdles that I see that to grow and scale and move on to the next level and level up is actually just understanding like where you got to go and where you're going and how to get there, right? You got to have a clear vision of what you're going to do within the next 5 years, 10 years, what have you, right? And whether it's getting coaching or whether it's, aligning with other entrepreneurs, networking with the right people, and just managing all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a challenge, bro. It's just, understanding like where everything's moving and how you navigate all the people, all the moving pieces, right? To how the business is going to be at the end of the year, your finances, how much work you're going to. I mean, you can make money doing anything, Mike. I'm saying, that. So you could sell freaking fruit on the corner of the street, People are making money doing anything. It's just how do you want to make the money, right? And that's the hardest part, is just being clear and decisive about what you want to do and where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of that, I know that you also flip houses. Yes, sir. How did you get into that? So the construction part of it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got that down, right? We're good at that. And you're always looking to improve and get better and see where the money's coming in and how to work smarter, not as harder, right? My thing is, I'm always trying to see where the money, or who's controlling most of the money and where the money's coming from in any aspect of the game that you're playing, right? Whether it's construction, whether it's the restaurant game, or where's all the money coming from, right? So my thing was, I want to be my own boss. I don't want to be having to be liable or responsive to clients and headaches, and I mean, which you still do, right? But at a certain point, you're running the show at your own pace. So we jumped into the water of the flip game with my partner Mike about maybe 2014, and started doing a couple of flips here and there. Back then the market was still good. You could still make some good money and get in and get out and and keep moving along and still make some good money. But as within the last 5 years, when I got heavy into my flip game,
it's been more challenging because now, like I told you before, I want to grow, but I'm plateauing because I'm very hands-on in my jobs, you know, and that's gonna be like a bottleneck for anybody who's trying to grow. If you're like, again, we can't duplicate yourself, right?
Yeah. So one example that I think is appropriate is a dentist. Okay, so a dentist or a doctor, right? Let's say it's a family doctor or a veterinarian, somebody that's educated in their specific field and they have a small practice and they're the only ones that are doing the technical work, right? So that's a problem because you only get to a certain point, and what'll end up happening is you end up making the same money every single year because you're the only person. You're the employee of your company, but you're also the owner. So you're the owner employee.
Right.
You're the only one that can do that job.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have a little team. You have a little admin team around you or whatever, medical assistants or dental assistant or whatever. But it's still, I see this a lot with those industries. Like, they have to learn, if they're going to grow, they have to learn how to hire other dentists, other veterinarians to come work for them. That takes leadership, right? It takes opportunity because another veterinarian or another dentist is not going to want to come work for another dentist. What is going to entice them to come? Opportunity for growth.
That's right.
Will they be better off with them than doing it on their own? Well, what does that look like? Well, we got marketing, we got a sales team, we got a management team, we got a whole team of administrative assistants, medical assistants.
That's right.
So they see big opportunity. It's like an accountant. Why would an accountant just go do, accounting on her own? Why would she go work for an accounting firm or a lawyer? Why wouldn't they just practice on their own? They're going to want to go work for a big law firm because they know that there's going to be more opportunity to make more money.
That's right.
So I see that a lot in those type of industries, and we got to apply that to like your scenario right now, right? How can you attract another rock star like you, Rob? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because and then develop them to do what you do so that you can scale. And then how do you keep repeating that? How do you keep repeating that? How do you keep repeating that? So I think that's kind of like the recipe for success for scale for you. Now, are you looking to scale the flipping side or the construction side?
I think the flipping side at this point right now, that's where I've been putting all my energy and focus into, So I think that's the avenue that we're going as far as.
So what's your plan for scaling that right now?
Well, like we were talking about, you said trying to find that person that could fill in some shoes and probably take over and just manage that part of it. And that's a little bit easier said than done because, I've trained a lot of people. I've trained a lot of guys to do work and show them, the ropes of construction and stuff. And they go off on their own. They go off on their own. There's nothing holding them back because there's no structure. Like you said, there's no motivation for them to be there as far as like benefits maybe or, or growth. The growth would be like to take on the jobs, right? But some guys are just like, hey, I'll just go do my own thing, right? They can make the money on their own doing side jobs or whatever they're doing, and they're happy with that. A lot of people are not driven to be at the position that you are or am at because they just don't have that drive. So
I'm gonna share a little story with you guys before we get ready to wrap up here. So I took over the sales and marketing for my accountant. She started off as my bookkeeper, then she became my accountant. Now she's my chief financial officer. She's my CFO, Carmen. Shout out to Carmen. I hope you're feeling better. She's been ill, but she basically offered me a percentage of her company to help her grow it. I said, absolutely, I'm up for the challenge. She's great at what she does. I meet with her every month to go over all my finances. She's even starting to help me with my personal finances because I spend a little bit too much sometimes on the personal side. I don't know if you've seen my cars, but I spend a little bit too much sometimes on that stuff. So she's helping me with that. But the point is that how does she attract other high-level accountants to come want to work for her? How does she attract other high-level business tax experts to come and want to work for her? Skilled bookkeepers. You would think that would be the name of the game, and that would be like the magic in growth, right? Like, what's the magic sauce? Here's the magic sauce. create something so big, so organized, and so much opportunity for others to grow within your organization and to grow within your bubble inside of your vision even bigger that they can imagine for themselves. That's the key. I learned that from Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson.
Nice.
Okay. I always thought like it would be nice. It would be nice to grow my collection agency. It would be nice to grow my business. It would be nice. Now the way I think is I have to do it. It's non-negotiable. It's a necessity.
Right.
It's no longer I want to or a luxury or I may do it one day. Now it's like I either do it or my business dies.
Yeah.
I have to be growing so big and so fast that I'm making a statement and I'm showing my team, hey, here, you're good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity here with me, even bigger than you can imagine on your own. And that's what I'm plugging into her company right now, Carmen's.
Yeah.
Right? I'm showing her team like, there's no need for you to even think about going anywhere else because you're going to have more opportunity and you're going to make way more money here than you will ever on your own. And they already see that. I'm starting by pumping marketing and sales. That's where I'm starting. But they already see all the changes that are coming in slowly and they're like, fuck, it's scaring them.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, this company's about to get huge.
Absolutely.
And we need leadership. We need leadership here. So if they want to be part of the growth, there's going to be opportunity for them to grow.
Nice.
So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to share that story with you because I feel where you're at. I've been there before. Like I've been at the plateau and I'm like, why aren't I growing? Why aren't I growing? And then I've been coached by Brandon Dawson. I've been coached by Grant Cardone. So they taught me like, you're thinking too small. Think big, believe in it and think huge and then just work your way backwards. Okay. Now, how do I build something that big?
Yeah.
So I just thought it was appropriate for me to share that story.
Absolutely.
So maybe that's something, for you to consider, just like thinking, okay, I'm going to coach somebody and I'm going to develop somebody to do what I do, but I'm also going to give them so much opportunity for growth that they can't even imagine it on their own.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I think that's good. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely some food for thought right there. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, that's the only way you're going to retain people, having them, giving them options and, like I said, the growth, it's an opportunity for them to not even worry about going anywhere else. Right?
Yeah, it just kind of clicked for me. It's like, oh, I got to build this so big that nobody even thinks about leaving because they can't build it this big. They can't even imagine them building it this big ever. Right. And we're growing so fast and they're getting promoted. They're making more money. The opportunity is so good. It'd be stupid for them to leave. Like, you got to build that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, whatever it is that is, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it takes to build something like that.
Absolutely.
But, so bro, thanks for coming all the way out here, spending some time with me, letting me get to know you and your business ventures and your growth plan. Where can people find you if they wanted to connect with you and follow you?
Yeah, boss, you can hit me up at Rob Rozco, IG. That's probably the best way to, get in contact with me. And just follow us up and see what we're doing. And we always got stuff going on there,
That's right.
I don't post too much, but we're working on that,
Social media is your new business card in 2025.
Yeah. I got some stuff on there.
So, bro, once again, I appreciate you coming out.
Yes,
guys,
sir.
make sure that make sure you're following, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions, if you just want to share anything with us. Thanks for spending some time with us. We'll see you next time on Mondays with Mike. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.